Your phone buzzes. You look. 10 minutes later, you look again. By tonight, you'll have picked it up over 100 times, and you won't remember deciding to do most of them. It feels like a modern problem, a willpower problem. But the real answer is far stranger. That urge is 2 million years old, and it kept your ancestors alive. Where did that pull to check come from? Your brain didn't build it for glass screens. It built it for the savanna. 2 million years ago, your ancestors lived exposed, in open grass, surrounded by predators faster and stronger than they were. Survival didn't depend on strength. It depended on information. Who is nearby? What just changed? The humans who scanned constantly had children. The ones who didn't. Neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky has spent decades studying primate stress, and his findings are blunt. The brain didn't evolve for happiness. It evolved to keep you alive long enough to reproduce. Constant vigilance wasn't anxiety. It was a job requirement. But it wasn't only lions your ancestors watched for. It was each other. Getting cast out of the group meant no food sharing, no protection, no one to help raise your children. So a second kind of vigilance formed, aimed inward. Has my status changed? Am I still safe here? Anthropologist Robert Dunbar built a career studying exactly this. His research showed that primates in larger social groups evolved larger brains, built to track relationships. Who's an ally? Who's a rival? Dunbar found humans developed something other primates handled through physical grooming: gossip. Tracking each other's status wasn't idle chatter. It was maintenance. Sound familiar? Your phone didn't invent this need. It found it already sitting there and gave it a button. Every notification is a small modern echo of that ancient rustle in the grass. Something changed. Your status might be different than 5 minutes ago. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a text and a shift in your ancient social standing. It responds the same way. Check now. Here's the twist that makes it so hard to resist, and it isn't about willpower at all. In the 1950s, psychologist B.F. Skinner ran experiments on pigeons that explain your lock screen decades before it existed. He rewarded pecking, but unpredictably. Sometimes after one peck, sometimes after none for a long stretch, then twice in a row. What happened? The pigeons pecked more, obsessively. Unpredictable rewards create the strongest compulsive loops known in behavioral science, stronger than a reward you can count on. Sometimes you check your phone and there's nothing. Sometimes there's something that makes your whole day better. You never know which. That unpredictability isn't a bug. It's Skinner's exact mechanism, sitting on top of a vigilance system your brain has trusted for 2 million years. Loneliness researcher John Cacioppo found that social isolation activates the same neural alarm systems as physical danger. Your ancestors' brains treated exclusion as a survival threat, because it was one. So that flicker of anxious curiosity about whether someone replied isn't overreacting. It's ancient software, running exactly as written, in the wrong environment. Your ancestors' checking looked like a glance at the horizon, a pause to listen, low cost, high value, because missing a real threat could be fatal. Now you glance at a screen over 100 times a day. Same rhythm, same brain. There's no lion in the grass anymore, but nobody told your nervous system that. So what do you do with this? You won't out-willpower 2 million years of evolution. But knowing what's happening underneath changes something. When your hand reaches for your phone with no real reason, that isn't weakness. It's an old scanning behavior misfiring in a world with no grass left to scan. You can start asking, in that half second before you unlock the screen, is this real information or just my vigilance circuit checking a horizon that isn't there? Tonight, when your phone buzzes for the 40th time and your hand moves before you decide to move it, you won't just see a notification, you'll see your ancestors on the savanna, scanning the grass, checking on each other, staying alive one glance at a time. The habit was never really about the phone. It was about you, and it always has been.